Hello everyone, Rudy Briksza here, CoolStuffInc.com. You already know what it is. I love me some Cube. I just can't stop myself. It comes up, I have to do it. And so therefore, we're here with a video. Now, I haven't looked at anything in this cube, so I'm not sure what anything is yet. But I think we're going to start here with one of my favorite cards, Jace the Mind Sculptor. Flooded Strand is also a pretty reasonable choice, so is Volcanic Island. If the white cards are good, Recruiter would be awesome. There's nothing really for mono red. Ultimate Price is pretty good, but not really a first pick. Really, it's just between Jace and the lands, and you know, we don't have to go blue-red. You know, maybe if we hit Deceiver and Splinter Twin, we'll be sad, but I think Jace here is just the most powerful card. So I'm going to go ahead and snag me a Jace here. It's a pretty nice one to go off with. And obviously we get Glorious Anthem and Tithe Taker for the white deck, Oracle for the green deck. A lot of different options here. Turn of Witness is pretty good, Negate's good, Image is good, Queller's good. I think I might take this Oracle. Generally blue-green is pretty powerful in any of these things, and being like a half-ramp deck is pretty nice. Here, I like Coercive Portal a tiny bit. Council's Judgment is fantastic. Stoneforge is maybe okay. Thirst for Knowledge is amazing, generally. So that's going to be where I'm going to lean towards. I'm not really locked into any colors just yet. So it's possible that Council's Judgment here is the correct pick. You know, being a fantastic removal spell for literally anything in the format's going to be awesome. I do like my draw spells, but we're not really locked into any color yet. So I think I'm going to take this Council's Judgment here. Tropical Island is a nice one that's going to pair well with Oracle and Jace if we go that route. Farseek's kind of cool if we end up being a green deck, but Impulse and Into the Royal are good. But I think I'm going to take the Tropical Island here. Just really powerful, going to be really awesome. Here, I'm not really happy with any of these cards, if we're being honest. I think I'm going to take Trigon Predator because it works the most with anything else I'm trying to do. Pact of Negation, it's also kind of nice, but generally not great. So I'm going to go ahead and take this Trigon Predator, but I'm not happy about it. I'm not happy about it at all. What do we have here? Day of Judgment is awesome. Ancestral Vision is awesome. I think I'm going to take Day of Judgment here, so this leaves us open to either playing a blue-green or a blue-white deck. Meloku is fantastic. I'm excited to get that kind of card. Cold Steel Heart, also awesome. But I think I'm going to take Meloku because Meloku is going to go well with either a blue-white deck or a blue-green deck, especially with Oracle. So I think I'm going to take Meloku here. And now the waiting game. So really what I'm looking for is, the problem is we can splash green kind of lightly with Oracle if we wanted to at this stage, but really if we wanted to play white, we're going to have to like move pretty deep into it, considering both of our white spells are currently double CMC. So that's okay for now, but we're going to have to do a little bit more work. We have a lot of packs, a lot of cards to pick, so we have plenty of time to figure out exactly what it is that we're looking for before we go ahead and make any real decisions. But I kind of like where we're going. We have like a nice couple spots in a couple different mid-range decks. We have a lot of really powerful cards here. Mana War is pretty good. Oust is awesome if we want to go on the white route. Just being able to have a 1-mana removal spell is kind of nice, especially with the Council's Judgment, Day of Judgment deck. We could take Fauna Shaman, you know, maybe move a little bit towards more green. Sky Sovereign's kind of expensive. Mana War is like fine as well, but I think I'm going to take the Oust. But Mana War is also a pretty reasonable card as well. Unexpectedly Absence, awesome here. That's going to kind of push us more towards white than anything else, but I could take a Botanical Sanctum as well and keep my options open, but I think just having a removal spell is just going to be kind of good overall, so I think I'm just going to go ahead and take that, and I think we're going to move more towards white than anything else. But Savannah's kind of better than anything else here, so I think I'm going to take this just because it kind of keeps me open to splashing. Kiora is going to kind of be the same thing, so I'm going to take Kiora too. None of these cards are great. I think I'm going to take the Maze of Ith, I guess, or maybe Woodland Cemetery. I think I'm going to take the Woodland Cemetery because it kind of keeps me open to doing other stuff. Vivian Reed. Yeah, I guess I'm just going to take Vivian in case I kind of push more towards playing a green deck. Mishra's Factory is kind of cool. Maybe not play that one, but I'd rather have it than not need it. Looks like green's kind of open, so Rattleclaw Mystic's going to be kind of awesome. But this kind of gives me a couple different options to go with. So now we have this entire next pack to kind of, you know, settle in, figure out what we're doing. Avacyn's awesome, Gideon's awesome, Supreme Will's cool, Thing in the Ice is cool. I think I'm probably going to take Gideon because I think Gideon's the most powerful card here, and I think that's going to kind of solidify playing white. And then, you know, we'll maybe fill in with green cards if we need. But I think Gideon's kind of a good enough one to go ahead and shove us more towards white, and Avacyn would be awesome to get back as well, but Gideon's fantastic for this kind of deck, and so Supreme Will. But Supreme Will's very low on the pick rate, so I assume that we will get it back. And if we don't, I'll be sad. Geeky Jeeky's kind of cool. I could take Nahiri and potentially try and splash red. Wake Thrasher's kind of awesome. Windswept Heath is kind of nice. Windswept Heath means our green splash would be really easy. The question is, do we want to maybe try and splash red, or do we want to keep with the green? And I think for now, I kind of want to keep open with the green. Plus, Windswept Heath can fetch a plains anyway, so it's going to pair well with Jace regardless. So I'm going to go ahead and nab the Windswept Heath there. Let's see. Tauren's kind of interesting. I don't know if that's very powerful. Upheaval's kind of busto, but I don't really know if that's something we're going to use. We're kind of getting tight on 4-drops, on our 4-drop slot, but not really happy with any of these options, if we're being honest. I think I just might take Upheaval because Upheaval has the biggest upside, and if we get a bunch of mana rocks in the next few picks, then that could be a card that I would want. But otherwise, not very happy with that. Here, I have Faith's Fetters and Repeal. I think I'm going to take the Repeal because Repeal's cheap. Don't want to get too overloaded on 4-drops, especially in Cube, when people can get pretty aggressive. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Repeal here. Elesh and Norn is fantastic. This is probably one of the best top ends. History's okay, but I don't think it's for this deck. Relic is also good. Temple Garden's good. Hangerback's good. But I think this is just going to be another top end, especially if we can go Meloku into Elesh Norn ever. The game will just essentially end on the spot. And if this also kind of makes me want to play Oracle more and Rattleclaw Mystic, because playing this kind of Bant mid-rangey deck with all these options is going to be pretty fantastic. Mirari's Wake, kind of cool. We did pass Kiki Jiki, got past Pestermite, so we're giving that away to someone, but that's okay. We could take and treat the Angels, Carnage Tyrant, Mirari's Wake. These are kind of the 3 cards that I'm looking at, and the question is, do I want to splash green or not? And I think right now the answer is maybe, but I'm not sold on it just yet. Entreat the Angels is kind of hard. We don't have a Brainstorm or anything to put it back. We don't really have a lot of creatures to make use of this, or any X spells, really, to make good use out of Mirari's Wake just yet. So I think I am going to take Mirari's Wake just in case. It seems like kind of a card that might be good if we push towards a different option. Supreme Verdict is awesome. Just having more Wraths is going to be great. Opt is a card that I would want to, but I don't think we're going to get that one back. Exclusion Mage is kind of cool. Could also take Primal Command, Noble Hierarch. Noble Hierarch pairs well with all the green stuff that we're doing, but makes my Wrath deck really awkward. So I'm going to take the Exclusion Mage. I'm going to take Thing in the Ice here. Thing in the Ice is kind of cool, but maybe I want Phyrexian Revoker instead, but I think Thing in the Ice is just going to be better for me. All these cards going to suck. So let's take Rootbound Crag. Let's take Tauren. Maybe I end up using Tauren. Garruk Relentless is kind of cool. I guess we'll take that if we want to splash green. Just making tokens is always going to be great. Always going to be great. So after this, we're probably going to, review, see what the deck looks like, see if we have enough playables with the blue-white deck, see if we have to splash green. Obviously, the Wrath green deck is super awkward. But potentially still good enough anyway. I think Oracle Meloku is probably going to be one of the best things that we can be doing, and maybe we want to just move into blue-green, maybe our white spell, and splash white. That's a possibility. Temple Garden here is going to kind of make splashing a lot easier. I don't really like Devoted Druid as much, because I think if we do splash, it's splashing for some more 4-drops and such. Fertile Ground. Fertile Ground actually might not be terrible. Might play well with what we're doing. I do like this Mirari's Wake Awakening Zone deck, and it feels like we should have just been green from the get-go, and obviously Deceiver's here as well. But I think I'm going to take this Mana Leak. Not really a fan of any of these other cards in here. Ulamog the Infinite Gyro is kind of nice, but not really what we're looking for. So I'm going to take the Mana Leak. I want more early interaction. And I think I might take out the Supreme Verdict and have just the 1 Day of Judgment. Mulldrifter's awesome. A Splitter Twin too? Oh god. Oh, this is so frustrating. Oh, could have had everything. We would have had Pestermite, Deceiver, Kikijiki, and Splinter Twin, and if we just first picked that Volcanic Island, oh man, the regrets. But that's okay. I think I'm gonna take this Mulldrifter here. Glacial Fortress is awesome. Memory Lapse is good. Riftwing's good. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and take this Glacial Fortress because we want all our mana to be great, always. But I think I might be leaning towards bringing out the Supreme Verdict, bringing in the Awakening Zone, Mirari's Wake, especially the Awakening Zone, Mirari's Wake, Meloku, you know, Awakening Zone, Elesh Stored stuff is just going to be fantastic for the most part. All these cards, none of these are really good for me. Horizon Canopy might be okay. Harmonize might be okay. Mentor's not very good in our deck. Frost Titan might be okay as well. So I think I'm going to take this Frost Titan here, but I'm not happy about it. Just seems to be the most powerful card that I can take that still plays into what I'm doing. Temporal Mastery is kind of cool. I kind of like Temporal Mastery in this deck. Approach is also kind of good in this deck. That just gives us like a real win condition. But if we're going to play more of a ramp-ish strategy with some of this stuff, then Temporal Mastery might be good. Do we have enough ways to win? I think the answer is if we splash green, Approach is going to be good. I think Temporal Mastery is going to be amazing here. So I think I'm going to take that. Oh, taking Elspeth is going to be great. I mean, I really want this breeding pool, but Elspeth is fantastic. So good. And then we just might play like a pure blue-white deck as well. Yes, Seachrome Coast is awesome here. We're getting a lot of like nice stuff here for sure. Mana Tithe is awesome. Tristani's kind of cool. Brimaz is kind of interesting. I think I'm going to take this Mana Tithe, though. Not enough people play around it. Ooh, Martial Coup is awesome. That's definitely a card that I'm going to want. That's also a card that plays well with Mirari's Wake as well. So now we're getting enough spells that this Mirari's Wake is going to be pretty good. So I think we're going to go ahead and splash for green. Especially with Awakening Zone and Oracle and Rattleclaw. It's going to be pretty good. Can also play Kiora too. Kiora's kind of awesome. And this deck actually looks like kind of reasonable. We don't want Thing in the Ice anymore. We're probably going to want something like Fertile Ground instead. But we are going to see. We do have other options. Condemn is kind of cool. I don't really think I want anything else. Rampaging Balance is just like another expensive card that we don't really need. But Condemn might be pretty powerful. Stirring Wildwood might be good for helping fix our mana, which I kind of like, especially if we're going to kind of go deep on this end. Remorseful Cleric's kind of interesting. We don't have any Grave Hate, but maybe that's okay because we have enough removal. So I'm going to take Stirring Wildwood here, of course. I'm going to take Horizon Canopy here just because it not only helps fix our mana, the rest of the deck. The rest of those cards kind of suck in the deck. So no need for any of them. And now the real question here is Courser or Mary Angel. And even though Mary Angel's great, we're going to take Courser just because it's cheaper. So we don't need this Shaman or Xenagos, so we'll just take it. Do we get anything back in the last pack that I want? Full Rise Stronghold. Not going to do it. Not going to do it. Okay. So now we have some cuts to make. So first, let's get rid of all our lands. See how many things we want to cut. See what our deck looks like. Then we can figure out our mana. Let's see. I think this Fertile Ground is not going to do it. It's not going to be good in our deck. So it's going to be kind of unnecessary. I think we're actually going to take out this Day of Judgment. And the reason I'm going to take out the Day of Judgment is because I have a lot of like cheap other ways to interact. So I don't think that's a card that I'm gonna want. So let's go ahead. Let's get these back in here. Let's add some basic lands. All right. How many green sources do we have? So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I don't think we need this many plains. And I do think I'm going to want another forest. And then for our blue sources, I only have 5. Actually, so I'm definitely going to want another blue source too. Okay, cool. So I will be right back in just a moment with the first match of this deck. This deck looks pretty interesting. I'm going to have a lot of fun with this because I love decks like this, so I'm excited. Hello everyone, Rudy Briksza here, CoolStuffInc.com, back here with the very first match of my league. And this is a pretty nice hand. We're not doing any of the green stuff, we're doing all the blue-white stuff, which is kind of nice. We have all our colors. We do kind of lose to a Blood Moon, a Wastelander, Strip Mine, but, you know, I have Condemn and to Repeal, and it's a Mulldrifter, and so I think this hand is exceptionally solid. Let's see, so I want all my mana to come into play untapped for the next few turns, so I think I'm going to play the Stirring Wildwood here. Repeal's not going to hit much anyway at this rate. My opponent's not doing much. It's pretty good for me. Although I do have to be concerned of Bloodstained Mire fetching a blue source and getting Deceivered. Ooh, Windswept Heath is kind of nice, but I'm going to save that because I have a lot of things that work well with my Windswept Heath, including Courser and Jace the Mind Sculptor. Alright, and it looks like we found land 6 now, so Elspeth is going to hit pretty nice. Looks like our opponent's just playing black-red here. And that's pretty good for us, I think, at this stage, especially if they're not doing anything. Generally, these decks are kind of aggressive. Worn Power Stone. Okay. I think I'm just going to go ahead and spend my turn repealing that. And then next turn, I get to go Oracle, Daya, play a couple lands, and that'll be kind of nice. Also might let me reset the top of my deck, which I do want to do here. Gideon is a nice one to have on top of my library. And now we'll see what our opponent is building up to. Because they have to be building up to something at this point. But we're going to get to go Elspeth and to Gideon, and that's going to be pretty nice here. So let's hope our opponent doesn't do anything crazy here. But even if we get Rakdos returned... Massacre Worm. Okay. Opponent might be kind of sad. Here. I think I want to keep up Condemn to protect this Elspeth. So I think I'm just going to destroy all creatures here. Massacre Worm may have been a little bit better in a couple turns. Especially with this Elspeth. Inferno Titan. Well, that's pretty unfortunate. Opponent is banging me out with all these powerful cards. Let's go ahead. Let's make a 2/2. Let's play Awakening Zone. I'm going to condemn this for my opponent. Did not want to Exclusion Mage it, but Inferno Titan's a good one. Inferno Titan's definitely a good one. Now we'll see what our opponent's going to do. If my opponent has a burn spell, they're pretty likely to just deal all the damage at Gideon. But maybe they'll go after that in me, which is kind of good for me. And in that case, this Condemn is going to certainly make good use. It's unfortunate we lost our Elspeth, but we have plenty of good things coming up. We have a lot of lands in play, so we can catch everything here. So all we really need to do is just start finding some of our draw spells or some of our big hitters here. What do we got here? Demon Lord, Vessel Knock. Alright. Opponent drew Faithless Looting and Fiery Confluence. So now we know that we have to play around some of these cards. Depending on what we draw, if we brick here, I'm probably going to bounce this Demon Lord plus my Gideon and attack with Stirring Wildwood and Gideon. Let's go ahead and get this Awakening Zone starting to go. Frost Titan's a nice one. And now we'll just start bashing it. Frost Titan was a nice one. That one is going to be hard for my opponent to deal with. In retrospect, I think I should have thought about that turn a little more. I think it would have been better to Frost Titan my opponent's Warden Power Stone or Blood Crypt and then bounce it with Exclusion Mage. I think that would have been a lot better. So I think I messed up that turn. So I would have kept my opponent off of 6 mana, so there would not have been very many things that they could have kept. Boggart and Hellkite. So if they're discarding this and not casting it, it means they probably have a Reanimate spell. Especially because they have 8 mana. Dread Return. Okay. It looks like my Gideon is going to go bye-bye. Unfortunate. Alright, so my opponent is losing a bunch of life here. Alright. I'm going to go ahead here. I'm going to Exclusion Mage. Bounce this Boggart and Hellkite. And then I'm going to activate Stirring Wildwood. Keep this Demon Lord tapped. Get in for 9 damage, put my opponent to 7, and I still have Mana Leak up. My opponent cannot play around Mana Leak at this point. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. Nope. So, I'm in a pretty good spot. My opponent might try to Boggart and Hellkite here, which is really what I want them to do. Drawing Mana Leak means that that's what I needed my opponent to do. My opponent wants a Fiery Confluence here. The only thing they can kill is my Exclusion Mage and my Spawn, which I don't really care too much about. Sneak Attack. Okay, that's pretty unfortunate for me. That is the worst kind of card that could have happened for me personally here. Because now it means this Boggart and Hellkite is going to come in and kill me. Especially because it's going to put me to 5. And then, yeah, so if my opponent has any other creature, I'm dead. I feel like I missed killing my opponent. Meloku. Okay, Meloku's kind of interesting here. So I know my opponent has Boggart and Hellkite here. I don't know what else they have, but the fact that they didn't do anything else with it means that it's possible that they're just going to use it to deal some damage, maybe to my Frost. They can't deal damage to my Frost Titan, but maybe clean up some of my board and attack. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to attack with Frost Titan, keep this Demon Lord tapped, and then I'll play Meloku afterwards. Yep. Yep, this makes the most amount of sense. My opponent can't deal anything, so I get to keep this tapped. It's pretty likely here that my opponent... Oh, they have another thing? Okay, Solemn Simulacrum, that's a good one. Alright. We'll go ahead and play this Meloku. I think I messed up. I think I could have made a 1/1 and then played a new land. So that's my bad. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so that might have actually been relevant. That one extra creature. Yeah, it definitely would have now at this point. Yeah, having 4 creatures in play means my opponent would have theoretically been at 3. Necromancy, ugh, for Bogart and Hellkite. Yeah, that one's pretty good. That's pretty good. Oh, Massacre Worm? Yeah, Massacre Worm's even better. That's pretty good, unfortunately. I think I might be dead here. I'm gonna see. Okay, so my opponent is just basically a wood reanimator deck. And now, obviously, I'm regretting not having any of the graveyard hate that I wanted. Oh, no. That's okay. I don't really think there's anything I want to change. I think for the most part, what I'm doing is alright. I don't think Day of Judgment or Supreme Verdict is going to really do much for me here. I'm going to go ahead and resubmit. Be sad that I don't have Relic. Be sad that I don't have Remorseful Cleric. Alright. Well, this hand's pretty good. We have our Tropical Island, so we have pretty much everything but the plains. This is a pretty solid place to be in for the most part. I wish we had a little more early things, but I think that was maybe more a product of the draft that I did more than anything else. Is there anything on turn 2 that I would want to counter? I don't think so, but I also don't think there's any reason not to. So I'm going to go ahead and play Tropical Island here. Maybe I can counter Faithless Looting plus Reanimate kind of thing. A Dismissive Pyromancer. I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to Mana Leak this. Play the Stirring Wildwood. Next turn I'll get to play Gideon. And if I draw a land, I'll get to go Gideon into Mirari's Wake. And that will be pretty good for me. There is the likelihood of a hero's downfall here. But can't really play too much around that. And I am going to get Mirari's Wake into Frost Titan Repeal. So I'll be in a pretty good spot for the most part. But I am just going to create a 2/2. Doesn't matter if this gets downfalled. Bedevil. Okay, so my opponent has multiple. My opponent's deck is actually really good. They killed it. Sneak attack. Alright. Unexpectedly Absent's kind of a nice one here. As long as my opponent doesn't go land, sneak attack. No! They did! Rats. Okay, kind of interesting. I'm going to unexpectedly absent this now, and I'm going to do it for the max amount. 4 cards underneath. I'm doing it in main phase too, so even if my opponent did have a thing to sneak attack in with, that it's not really going to matter too much. And if they miss their land drop here, this Frost Titan's going to be awesome. They did not. Opponent is very good at not missing land drops. Go ahead and get this Frost Titan down, start trying to eat away at some things. Start trying to eat up all of my opponent's mana here. We do only have 2 more turns before they get the sneak attack back into play. I do have to try and work quickly on killing my opponent. If I draw a land here, I get to Mirari's Wake into Stirring Wildwood, which is kind of awesome. What will my opponent do here? We are able to get kind of aggressive. Ooh, we actually need to draw planes here to Mirari's Wake and activate Stirring Wildwood, so hopefully. Okay. It looks like They were trying to take away from my hand. They were not able to do so. Oh, well, that one's pretty good. This is now a 2-turn clock. And next turn I can go Meloku into Mirari's Wake, and I don't think my opponent's really going to be able to beat that one. Star of Extinction. Well, that's pretty reasonable. Now they have Sneak Attack in 1 card. Alright. Go. This one's pretty good. My opponent has to have a lot here. Opponent has to have another Star of Extinction or something. They do not. So we are going to get there. We would have been able to cast Mulldrifter into some trash, but that doesn't matter because Meloku and Mirari's Wake is a combination. That is a good combination. I'm a big fan of that combination. Let's go ahead. Let's run it back. Looks like sometimes our opponent's deck is going to be a tiny bit clunky. Okay, well, this one's actually kind of interesting. We do have a removal spell. We are 1 green source away from being able to cast Courser. So I'm kind of happy with how this looks for the most part. I think I'm going to get Temple Garden here. So we already have 2 blue sources. Temple Garden's the only one that causes us any pain. Seachrome Coast here. I'm going to get to play Mulldrifter next turn. And hopefully our opponent doesn't do anything too crazy in the meantime. Doesn't look like they are. So pretty happy at that. So we're going to go ahead and evoke this Mulldrifter. I must discard now. What do I want to discard? Kind of like all of these cards, if we're being honest. I think I'm going to discard this Condemn. And hope that I don't get bit for that one. I think the rest of my hand is going to be pretty good at doing the rest of it. Even if this Oracle dies, I'm going to get a bunch of value off it. And if it doesn't die, then we're going to extract maximum amounts of value. Glacial Fortress, Tropical Island, both off the top. That one's going to be really nice. Let's go ahead and play Frost Titan here. Looks like my opponent is having a very clunky draw where they just drew all their creatures. And we are going to outvalue our opponent. Okay, I like this. Casting Mulldrifter. Try and draw some cards. I like it, I like it. Una's Prowler. Okay, I like that one too. Now what do I want to do? We have a lot of different options here. A lot of different options. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I can Rattleclaw Mystic and Temporal Mastery here, and I think I want to do that. So I think I'm going to play this, cast Rattleclaw, cast Temporal Mastery. Let's go ahead, and I'm going to tap down 2 lands here with Frost Titan over a couple turns. To play Forest, we have a Jace coming up. That's kind of nice. I think I want to start getting my Planeswalkers in play. I think it's probably going to be the best thing for me. I'm going to go ahead, play this Kiora, draw a card, play this Jace. Go ahead and bounce this Una's Prowler. Force my opponent's hand in action, and I'm going to type another land, and they're only going to have 4 or 5 lands available. And this mana leak is going to be good because of that. I think we should be able to win this game. Might be a little close. And we did! Nice! Yeah, our opponent was not able to come up with enough mana. They know that we have the mana leak in hand. And our value deck wins! And I'm really happy. I love this deck. So I'll be back in just a little bit with match number 2. Hey everyone, Rudy Briksza here, CoolStuffInc.com. Back here for match number 2 of my cube draft. I'm going to go ahead and keep this hand because we have a lot of real powerful 4-drops and we only need 1 blue mana or 1 white mana to make us cast every one of our spells, or 1 white mana specifically will cast all of our spells. Glacial Fortress, Seachrome Coast, one's really that I'm having in mind, but overall, I'm pretty happy with this hand for the most part, especially if our opponent comes out of the gate super slow. Elvish Mystic is not very slow. My opponent is not respecting the rules of keeping slow hands. Of course, you might be rightfully punished by getting destroyed. Go down this reach. Okay. Opponent is on the red-green strategy of ramping. Alright, well we drew an island, so that's kind of nice. That means we can now cast Jace and Kiora. Rhythm of the Wild. Okay, that one's pretty good. That's pretty good. Yeah, that's all really good. So I'm going to do this, and this is going to be a lot of fun. So I'm going to minus my Kiora here, and then play this Plains. Yeah, I wish I had that Mana Tithe earlier. It would have been so good against Raphellos. I'm really hoping, oh man, I was really hoping they would put it on Raphellos. Uh-oh. Vivian. Alright. I'm just gonna take my chance to Mana Tithe this. So my opponent either is gonna pay for it with Elvish Mystic, and I don't get attacked, or they don't pay for it to attack me. Both of which I'm okay with for now while I'm trying to build up something to block with. Duplicate. Okay. That's good to know. Let's draw a card with Kiora, try to find some more lands. It's not very good. It's not very good. I think we might be dead here. I still have a land drop. Did not find a blue land. It's quite unfortunate. Oh, I put back the wrong land. I meant to put back the forest so I could oust and then condemn. Oh, that's pretty unfortunate for me. That is quite unfortunate because it could have gotten my opponent really good here. But post board, we're gonna get him real good because we have the Supreme Verdict and Daya Judgment, and I also have Trigon Predator to beat this too. Oh, but there's a lot of good stuff going on, that's for sure. I think I'm going to lose to this Vivian Reed if I had to take a guess. Vivian Reed's going to be pretty good. taking down pretty much everything that I'm doing. Also has a duplicate in hand. I'm going to have to unexpectedly absent this. This is going to be a real tough one. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get out of this one, for being honest. I'm getting absolutely hammered on all ports. All right. I guess it can't be countered. Alright. I am dead. I am dead. My opponent's green strategy proved to be too good. Too strong for me. Too strong. I'm going to take this. Let's get rid of this Awakening Zone. I don't think... actually, no. Awakening Zone's going to be pretty good against some of what they're doing. Kiora's going to be kind of bad here. I don't need that one. Let's see. Martial Coup's going to be good. Elesh Norn. It's probably not going to be good enough. I'm going to go ahead and get that one out. And I think we're going to get out... What do I want? I think I want this Rattleclaw Mystic, actually. You know, because it does help cast these, even though that's not very good. Council's Judgment. Also going to be fine. I guess that's my way to beat Vivian, but I don't really think I need it that much, so I'm just going to go ahead and take that out. Alright, I'll keep this one. This one's pretty nice. I have Mana Tithe into Trigon Predator Awakening Zone, so I can get rid of their right enchantment. So Trigon Predator is just going to destroy every one of their relevant non-creature spells that isn't Vivian. Ooh, Martial Coup is a nice one. Get rid of this Overgrown Battlement. Get that out of here. Let's go ahead and morph this because this is going to be pretty good at helping cast Frost Titan. It's going to add 3, 4, 5. So if I draw a land here, I can flip and cast Frost Titan. Well, that's unlucky. I am going to turn it face up. I am going to add mana so I can play Awakening Zone. I want to start, because I missed my land drop, so I'm going to need to start pumping out some lands so I can make this Martial Coup good. I can make Frost Titan good. Lots of things here that I need to make good. I can't really do that without mana. I did keep a 3-lander. Alright. What is this? Sword of Body and Mind. It's kind of interesting. So I guess their plan is to equip and attack. I think I'm actually going to Mana Leak this to eat up everything, to eat up their entire turn. And then I'm going to play Trigon Predator, and I get to block with Rattleclaw Mystic. I guess we can just cast Frost Titan now instead. Tap down their only creature. And next turn I'll get to play Trigon Predator. And I have a lot of different ways to block and keep it. Natural Order. That's a good one. Is this Progenitus? Hornet Queen. Alright. Well, that one's pretty okay. Let's see. So I think I'm going to play Trigon Predator here. I don't really have too much of a choice here. I think I am going to get a tiny bit bodied. Hornet Queen is pretty solid here, but my Martial Coup next turn is going to go ahead and clean all of that up. Although I am going to only have 17 cards left in my library after that one. This is going to be quite unfortunate. Let's see what's getting milled. Forest, Mulldrifter, Oust, Supreme Verdict, Jace, Daya. Both of my Wraths. Well, play more creatures. Only one card in hand. That's fine. So I have exactly 5, right, on this Martial Coup. All right. So we beat some of them. Still got a lot of work to do. If I draw land, I can cast Elspeth, which I'm really hoping I can do here. My opponent plays like a Vivian. It's like pretty easy for me to beat. It's a Worm Coil Engine. Okay. I think I'm going to play Courser here. Hopefully we can get some lands out of this one. Oh, that one's nice. Okay. So now I get to go ahead and put Worm Coil Engine on the bottom. And then hopefully this Elspeth can carry me after that. That's the hope. Vivian. Okay, Vivian's really good. But I can kill Vivian pretty easily here. Let's see their revealed cards as well. Rafellos. Okay, Rafellos is kind of good here too. Go ahead and play this Glacial Fortress. Four, 5, 6. Elspeth. Just more and more creatures. And this Elspeth, when it ultimates, will win the game on the spot. And I'm gonna Elspeth before my opponent gets to ult Vivian. So I'm in a pretty good spot, I think, for the most part. And if Hornet Queen is my opponent's, one of their best hits, then I think I'll be okay. City of Brass. What is this? Dragon Lord of Tarka. Oh, that one's really good. It's kind of unfortunate. That is kind of unfortunate. Yep. Well, I don't know if I have any other way to win now. So that was really what I was leaning on was Elspeth after I took out everything else. That is unfortunate for sure. Oh no. Well, there's the Unexpectedly Absent. So it's going to be pretty good for keeping out this Vivian Reed from ultiming me. And I have Condemn now, so Condemn's going to be pretty good. It's unfortunate they got my Jace. Jace would have easily won this game too for me, I think, especially with Courser and Oracle. Rhythm of the Wild, that one's pretty good. Go ahead and condemn this. That is unfortunate, but we get to put this Vivian very far down. Well, I'm not sure what else I have left in my deck to win this game, but it is looking worse and worse as time goes on. Creator Hoof Behemoth, that one's pretty good. I'm giving all the creatures trample. It's kind of annoying. Can I survive this? And I think the answer is no. I think I'm pretty dead here. So GG's to my opponent. They got me. Their mill was really good. We would have bricked so hard. That's unfortunate. There were all the lands that we needed. Hello everyone, Rudy Briksza here, CoolStuffInc.com, back here for my final match. Currently we're 1-1, battling for the 2-1, and I am excited. If I draw a land here, I get to go Rattleclaw into Oracle. My opponent is playing a mono white strategy. I'm going to not block with this Rattleclaw Mystic and hope that it does not die to a removal spell. It did. Rats. Well, that was the worst thing that could have happened. Oh no, that's the worst thing that could have happened. Missing my land drop. Hopefully I draw a land here. Awesome. And it's a white source. Also awesome. This Exclusion Mage is going to be fantastic. Opponent is bolting me. I'll take it. Searing Spear. Opponent has a lot of burn. A lot of burn. Just kind of have to hold on for a little while. So I'm going to go ahead, Temporal Mastery. I'm going to oust my opponent's Isamaru so I can start getting in for damage. Stoke pretty good here. Just my extra turn. I think I'm going to play this Oracle because getting to Elesh Norn is going to be the best bet that I can get. Hopefully I do not die in the meantime. Their next draw step is Isamaru, so I just have to hope the two cards in here are not very good. Firebolt my Oracle. I think that's fine. I'm not sure. I think I'm okay with this Temple Garden being on top of my deck because I'm going to play Jace. And then I will zero Jace here, look for something to protect myself with. Okay, that's not bad. So next turn I get to play Elesh Norn into my opponent's Isamaru. Uh-oh, Swift Spear's really good. Okay, so I'm only getting attacked for one here, so I'm going to go ahead and fetch. Just get the plains or something here. I'm going to go to 4, which is pretty good, but I get to do this. Let's see if I die. Falconwrath Gorger. No, you can keep that one. And good night. And I get to use Jace to keep my opponent out of this game for the rest of the game. Nope. So no, my opponent has Mother of Runes now, and I think my opponent's dead now on board. Yep, they are dead. We did it. We were able to survive. We're owning, as Brad would say. Brad Carpenter. All right. I don't really think I want to change too much. I think I'm pretty happy with how most of this is set up. Maybe one Thing in the Ice. Thing in the Ice is a great blocker. I want to lower just my curve a little bit. Get rid of this Kiora and the Council's Judgment. Do I want Day of Judgment? I think I might want a Wrath. I think I want a singular Wrath here. I think Martial Coup probably is not very good here. Actually, Unexpectedly Absent is pretty bad, but I think the rest of it's good. So I'm going to go ahead and submit this. I think this is going to be pretty good. Our opponent has a hate for Tom Brady. All right, there we go. My opponent is off to the races. They have Mother of Runes, probably one of the best cards that they can certainly start off with, especially on the play. Not really going to have a good answer for that one. Ooh, Legion's Landing. That one's really good. All right. I'm going to go ahead and play Rattleclaw Mystic here. Not because I want to block the Vampire, but playing Oracle Daya next turn is probably just going to be one of my best bets at winning this game. Aethersphere Harvester is pretty good, for sure. Okay, let's go ahead and play this. Play Oracle. Get to start playing more lands. So I want to try and bury my opponent by going way over the top of them. The best way for me to do that is by just oracling. And it looks like my opponent doesn't really have anything, too aggressive right now. They're having a really slow draw, so eventually this Martial Coup is just going to win me the game for sure. Yep. I'm just going to take some damage off this Aethersphere Harvester in the meantime. Kind of hoping that there is a bunch of lands on top of my deck. I think I'm going to take 2 here. I think we're just going to keep their mountain tapped. And then this is going to be pretty good. I'm going to go Mirari's Wake next turn. Make all my creatures heck big. And then I get to Martial Coup. I'm going to lose my Rattleclaw Mystic, my Oracle, my Frost Titan, but in exchange, my opponent will have nothing, which I think is going to be pretty good for me. And I'm going to have a Mirari's Wake and Martial Coup, which is going to be pretty absurd, especially because this Martial Coup is going to be for a massive amount. I'm going to go ahead and make quad blue here. Play this Jace. Go ahead and Fate Seal my opponent. See what's up. Lightning Helix. I guess you can keep that one because there's no red sources. We get to attack with Frost Titan here. Get to go after this mountain. So we can keep their Lightning Helix in check. My opponent's gonna, Mother of Runes here and block, and so they don't take any damage, which is okay with me. But next turn, it's gonna be pretty over for them because I'm gonna Martial Coup for X equals infinite with the Jace in play. I don't really think there's any good outs for my opponent at this rate. I just have to dodge all the burn spells for the rest of the game, since my life total is at 12. I think I did make a mistake taking 2. I think it should be at 14. But obviously, in retrospect, that was wrong. But, there's only so much you could do. land, land. Oh, so many lands. Let's go ahead and let's plus on my opponent. Yeah, we can put this mountain on the bottom. Just keep them off mountains for the rest of the game. And I'm going to Martial Coup for infinite. And I'm going to put my opponent dead on board. Martial Coup, X equals 17. Okay, 17 2/2s. Go. Okay, so they have Helix now. I don't think Helix saves them, but they have Helix now. That puts them to, I mean, this is, you know, 20 damage right here. All right, we did it. Awesome. That was a lot of fun. I really liked that deck. This deck was a ton of fun. I think there were a couple places that I could have drafted a little differently, but Cube is about enjoying a little bit of everything. We lost to the you know, the green deck. You know, we didn't really have enough. You know, we lost the Sword of Body and Mind realistically, but that's okay. I had a lot of fun. And I can't wait until Cube comes back, and now I'm going to submit this video, and I'm going to go back to cubing, because I love Cube. And anyway, this is Rudy Briksza with CoolStuffInc.com, and I'll catch you next time.